Hey, it's me, Nick Newey. So, this is a little bit weird, and this is something I don't think a lot of people were questioning, because this was something in regards to, like, my old channel. Whatever happened to my Minecraft Let's Play series, my Minecraft Adventures gameplay series? Well, the thing with that is that I kind of wanted to do the Shadow of Israfel style thing, where I turned my survival let's play into like a big lore thing after I got a certain uh, amount done in the series. And basically, I kind of ended off with the defeat of the Ender Dragon, right? I defeated the Ender Dragon, and then I got back home and like I worked on the library for an episode, I think, and then I basically went on hiatus. And basically, the idea was, um, if I go into this, I can show you guys the visual. I was sort of doing a thing where I was just like AFK mining, and like here's the thing, I actually did AFK mine. If it's up here, I think, yeah, I did actually AFK mine for like a decently long period of time to get enough leather to turn into books, to turn into bookshelves, and like I think that's why I was mining. I think that's why I was. I don't see the leather in here though. Is it just not in here? Oh no, it is 56 leather right there. Yeah. So I actually did like AFK mine so that I did it legit. Um, Basically the idea was I set up like one of these automatic fishing farms. Um, I don't even know if they work in this version of Minecraft anymore. But oh, and sorry if there's a little bit of flim in the background. I'm recording in a different place, so I don't know exactly what to do with this recording setup. So if you hear a little bit of flim, that's why. So like this is the library that I spent so long working on. This sort of unfinished library. Um, and basically, like, I wanted to get enough bookshelves to finish this guy up. I wanted to get enough books so that I can turn them into bookshelves and sort of like finish off this area, which is so big, um, and such. Uh, and one of the things is that I didn't want to return until everything of the lore I wanted to set up was done. I wanted to turn it into a narrative. There may have been some clues throughout the series that I was going to turn this into like a big narrative that went on for a while. Um, if you can look over here, I think this guy right here. I'm pretty sure I talked to this guy before I went to fight the Ender Dragon. Right, this guy. Yeah. Um. So when I came back was really when that story was gonna start. That was really when that story was gonna kick off, and I was gonna um make like this grand narrative to sort of announce my return. This was also one of the zones that was like lore significant that I actually did go to in the series. This is the sort of the island that the pirates camped out looking for the treasure. Um, it's and here was the treasure, and I went down. It was some, I don't know, some joke. Um, but what I really wanted to show you guys was this was gonna be like the main area of like the next story arc, I guess, where I would like go to for a few episodes. And it's this massive, massive pirate ship with like these smaller ships surrounding it. Um, it was just like this massive pirate ship with these smaller ships surrounding it. I think I had like 16 minion ships, and then I had some like lore important ships. And these were all sort of like based on the different colors of wool. And I had a few funny jokes here, like, okay, so you have like the hay worshippers from Dwarven Kingdoms. They're here, and they've got like their own they've got their own boat situation going on. Um, and then there's like this boat of like snow golems and stuff like that. This was one of the more lore important ones. This was Captain Spack Jarrah's crew, because Spack Jarrah, he was like the pirate I actually met in the series already. He was going to be one of the reoccurring characters, and basically the lore was going to be after David Jonas was killed. After David Jonas was killed, Spack Jarrah got control over the whatever this is going to be called. The ship needs a name. I don't think I've even given it a name yet. But like some of these are just like sort of, average freaking like pirates. I think if I remember right, I think Scott Cawthon is actually one of the pirate captains, right? Yeah, Scott Cawthon is one of the pirate captains, and he mans the yeah. That was a little joke for me. Yeah. I think oh yeah, I had each crew in like these barrels. This is from behind the scenes, I guess. A lot of these were just rando Minecraft heads I spawned in. Some of them were from like this website that just has a whole bunch of custom skins on them. But others were just like I typed in a random name into give head of player or whatever. That loom's still there. Interesting. And yeah, I did give each of the pirate captains a personality. I mean, not all of them are like super important to the lore, but if I remember right, I did give each of them like a personality and stuff. So this is the main ship. This is probably what you've been waiting for me to see, is like this big ass main ship. So we might as well go through the entrance. As you can see, there's like cannons on the side. And when you go into the entrance room, you kind of like run past these cannons. This area might need lit up a little bit more, but it might also be fitting for it to be sort of like a dimly lit room with all these cannons in it. You go through this hallway, and then there's more cannons. I wanted to get the cannon rooms out of the way first. They're probably like one of the lesser interesting areas to be in. But yeah, those are the cannon rooms. Then you go through here, and you're in like this little hallway. You go around here, and this is actually the anchor, I'm pretty sure. This is the room that the anchor's in. If I swim down, I think there's like it's a very simple anchor. It's just like a ball anchor. It's not like a fancy Mr. Krabs house anchor. And it also goes up there as well. We'll probably be going up there in a minute. There's this hallway. What should we go to first? If you go down this way, there's some windows that show like the staircases that you can go down, and then yeah, these windows show the various like other rooms that you can get to, which we'll be in later. And then there's a door here, and it's supposed to be like a mystery thing, like, oh, what's in here? Oh, what's in here? Oh, sorry, door locked. I'm not gonna spoil what's in there. Yeah, this staircase leads down. Should we go down first? Yeah, down is kind of how you get up to the upper deck, and I want to look at that last. So I'll go around here. There's some fancy designs on the walls. Map to the Eye. Quest taken by Spack Jarrah. This is the Eye. This is the treasure that was in This was the treasure that was already in the series that we got to see, right? Is the this is the island with all the palm trees on it. Um, so yeah, I'll take these staircases down. I think this is the right way to go for what I want to show you guys. A bit of a hallway here with not much going on. I think down here will just take you to... Okay, down there will take you to like the bottom rung. We want to be on this rung right now. Yeah, here's a balcony overlooking another room. And here are the barracks. There's like many barracks. There's many barracks, and they're just like these big rooms full of beds. And this actually overlooks the dining hall. We'll go into the dining hall in a minute. More barracks, dining hall, more barracks, no dining hall, barracks, barracks, more dining hall, barracks, more dining hall. Here's paintings. I don't think these paintings led anywhere. I think there might have been one painting somewhere that led somewhere, but I'm not entirely certain. Here's like a little indoor farm, right? This one grows like the regular crops sort of situation. Oh, and then this takes us through the dining hall, which is nice. There's some furnaces back there that you can't see fully yet. Yeah, and then this one grows the melons and pumpkins, right? So I have like two little indoor farms. Yeah, like I said, I don't think these paintings go anywhere. Dining hall, barracks, dining hall, barracks, more barracks, no dining hall, barracks, barracks, dining hall, barracks and dining hall, and barracks and no dining hall. And then this looks over the balcony over here. It's a very symmetrical design. It's a very symmetrical design of a pirate ship. Nothing there. There's no map there. And then this, if I remember right, if I go up here, this will take you back to the anchor room. Yeah. This takes you back to the anchor room. So I think... Yeah, okay. And that's the cannon room. So we just made like a big loop around. Alright, so what do we go down to next? I think next we go down these back staircases. Yeah, and there's like there's these lights leading up to here, and then there's the dining room. This will be closed off for a few episodes while I go and do some side quests. There's this big ornate dining hall, and like I would sit here and we'd have like this big meeting essentially. And then these are like the furnaces back here, and then this if we go through here, this leads to somewhere else, and that like it sort of like loops around to an area that I don't even know if I'm going to use this. I just think it's interesting what that leads up to, and maybe you can guess what that leads up to as we like look through this place a little more. I mean, if you want to take a quick look at all of the different banners of the look at these different banners of the thingy. Can get a good look at them. Some of them are hard to see. Like that's like a Mojang logo behind there, and then this is supposed to look a bit like a pumpkin. And then these are like the logos of Spac Jera, and then like a character that's sort of like a rival to Spac Jera, which we'll talk about. Oh yeah, and I never did this, but I think I was going to have like big maps in each of these rooms, and like these big maps would sort of be various like interesting locations. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that, because like the big thing is they need to be maps of locations in this world, and a lot of like the big lore important locations are just going to be in separate world files, I think, is how I'm going to do this. because they're gonna be like across the sea and stuff like that. Like there's gonna be a big emphasis on pirates during this. Okay, so these are like the staircases that lead down from those hallways. You see, yeah, like I'll just let you know where we're here. Okay, so like there's the cannon room, and then we go around here, and then like blah blah blah, we go down this staircase, and then blah blah blah, we go down this staircase, and then we're on the bottom rung, and then of course that's the room with all the maps in it. And we come over here. There's the balcony we saw earlier, and yeah, I think this is just another hallway that overlooks the dining room, but like from a different angle. Because, like, the big thing is I'm going to be exploring around the ship for a while, and, like, we'll be seeing the dining room, but, like, building up to it. This is a bathroom. This is a shit room. It's a poop room. Do you like what I did as toilet paper? Do you like that toilet paper build? Hey, this is a big crew. It's managed by a lot of people. Okay, those are just some lights. I think the staircase leads over like that hallway behind the Pirate King's throne. I do parody Pirates of the Caribbean quite a bit with this series. Okay, and then I think this is just another hallway that overlooks the dining room. Yeah. Okay, some more walls and such. We'll go up here. Yeah, I think we explored everything except the upper deck. So I need to find the staircase to the upper deck. It's been a while since I've been on this world, so it's hard for me to remember where these staircases and stuff are. Okay, so, like, this is how you get up to the upper deck, is, like, these big spiral staircases in the map rooms. This is how you get up to the upper levels. You just, like, go up these big spiral staircases, which are kind of precarious, right? These are a little precarious, but they lead up to the main deck. Yeah, I think this sign, I don't think the sign is canon. I think the sign is just here to, like, I was in the middle of building. Did I ever make, like, those final 3 guest rooms? Ooh. Oh, those are the other ships. Yeah, you can see them from here. That's kind of cute. And then these are, like, the bedrooms of the various guys, right? These are, like, the bedrooms. These are, like, high-class bedrooms. I mean, I say high-class. They're just, like, 4x4 spaces with a double bed in them. They're all supposed to be themed around the various captains and such of the thing. I don't remember whose that is. Okay, there's Scott Cawthon. Guess that's his. Oh, and then this is the anchor. Right, this is where the anchor room leads. Because we saw that anchor earlier. This isn't a guest room. This is just like where the anchor is. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. There's that bed. I think that's all of them on this rung. So I can, like, go up a layer. Oh, that might have been in the... There are some things that, like, are gonna happen in the story mode that aren't in this. Because this is just, like... This is, like, the main... This was, like, the model in, like, my main world that I copied over to the world, which I'm gonna change for, like, when I'm, like, recording in it to, like, move things around when they need moved around. Right? That made sense. That sentence made sense. This is a hay bale room. This is kind of like a Minecraft-y looking room. This is, was there supposed to be something interesting in there? I think there was. I think there was supposed to be something, like, lore important in there. Then there's this. And then there's this room. It's kind of simple. This room's kind of ender-looky. And then this room's unfinished, actually. And this was going to be, like, Spac Jera's room. Right? This was going to be, like, Spac Jera's room. Oh, there's the big old thing you do. But yeah, like, you can get some good views over the fleet from up here, you know. Maybe you want to go down here and get a good look at the fleet. Maybe you want to come over here and get a good look at this fleet. That one's flying. Don't mind him. He's cute. This is what the cannons look like on the inside. So there's that. There's just some random crew members wandering around. Oh, this isn't necessarily fully manned. I might need to put more people on here. Ooh, the crow's nest. We'll go to the crow's nest later. The King's Chamber. The King's Chamber. Okay. Let's look at the King's Chamber later. We need to build up to that, I think. I might go to it before the crow's nest, though. So there's this, the poop deck. This is the poop deck, of course, and of course there's oddly large paper for oddly large pirates that might be pooping over the side of the poop deck. Of course, oh, here's the big wheel. Here's the steering wheel. So, boy, I wonder how... I envy whoever has to drive this thing. But yeah, there's a big wheel there. There's some rigging tied to this thing. If I remember right, this pirate ship design is not 100% original. This is like a scaled up version of like these ships, and I think these ships I got from a YouTube video, but I don't remember the one I got them from. So there is that. I think I'll go into the crow's nest before I go into the King's Chamber. That seems fitting. We'll save the King's Chamber for last. The crow's nest. So this is like a big spiral staircase. I'll probably just fly up it because like you guys don't want to watch me like go up at this massive staircase. Because at the top of the crow's nest is something kind of interesting. I think some of my viewers might like this. Go up, 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 and we're up here. And then there's a little thing that like you gotta swim through. It's a little it's a little awkward. Hang on. Oh, did I change this? Hang on. Oh yeah, there were like blocks blocking. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay. No, I didn't. Hang on. Okay. Let me fix that. So like, hang on. There's kind of a joke here. So you have to like sort of like squeeze into here, and then you're up here, and then you like climb out of there, and then you go around, and hang on, and it's a person. So yeah, I mean that's a joke, but this is sort of a dwarf giant. I guess this like giants are going to be a part of the story, and this is like one of the smaller ones who was like recruited by the pirates. I think this is the Pirate King's daughter. I'm pretty sure was like the lore behind her. There's some rigging there. There's the big old sails. Um, so speaking of the Pirate King, I think it's time for us to like go into those chambers. Um, yeah. So like this massive door is going to be closed for like a portion of the story arc, and then like a few episodes in, it will sort of like open up, and then like I can go in here and I can see this massive sort of um, chamber with like all this gold and stuff. There's like gold stalactites hanging from the ceiling, and there's like rare minerals, and precious things everywhere. There's like a sword sticking out of the ground. There's like a uh, and there's this guy, of course. Um, and of course, we got the Pirate King himself, Pirate King Testiclefits. I believe was his name was going to be. He was going to be Pirate King Testiclefits, and he has the Nautilus shell. Um, and there's this big map that sort of shows the Caribbean, as it were. There's my house right there. There's my house and the library, and there's where we are right now, this big pirate ship. There's the island of the Eye, and then that's something I think we'll take a look at later because it is also part of the story. This is where this is just kind of where I kept the maps up here. There's a big old Santa Claus with a sign that says West Pole, and then there's a palm tree over here. So, there's a TNT eater that shows you how old this is. But like, you can maybe see why this was maybe too ambitious for me to return to, right? Because this is only like a small part of the story I wanted to tell. It's like this big thing that I kind of had to put together all by myself, and like the character speaking is probably going to be all through command blocks and such, which I have to like rig up to time properly. And then this is the floating pirate ship, and I believe the captain of the floating pirate ship was Spac Jarrow's rival, and she was like a well-trusted friend of the current Pirate King, whereas like Spac Jarrow's kind of like the one everyone kind of like. Spac Jarrow's kind of like the disgraceful one that everyone sort of mourns the existence of, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, this is like a massive pirate ship, and there are all sorts of things I could maybe do with this, like and so like this story arc will kind of be about like the pirate election, right? And how Spac Jarrow is trying to get to be like the Pirate King, and we essentially got to stop him or whatever. So there's that. That's all interesting. I'll have to show you like some more stuff that's like lore relevant. I think I'll show you that thing that was on the map earlier, which is also in this world. It's a very simple thing, rather simple thing. I can head over there. There's my oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this was a survival world, of course. This is a survival world that I added lore to. Essentially, is what it is. If we go over to the Rosebush Caverns, I might even show you something over here that was like part of the story originally, like something that happened in the story that's just kind of here. It might actually be nice to show you some of you guys who haven't seen Minecraft Adventures the world I have constructed. This is also part of the lore. This is a monastery. I don't know if these are going to be crosses in the final version. Ooh, there's bees up here. How are there bees up here? Huh. Bees got all the way up here. Yeah, but this is sort of a this is a monastery. This is sort of a monastery. I based it on the monastery of Spinjitzu from Ninjago. If I go in here, I might avoid those pressure plates for a minute because I think, if I remember, well, wasn't it just simple like? Oh, I can't remember what the command blocks did. Hang on. Oh yeah, they just did like a simple weather clear. Okay. I guess it was like, okay, they wanted to, if it was like snowing by the time I wanted to get up here, I wanted the scene to be more cinematic, I guess, more fitting for. But there's like these statues here, these goofy statues. There's some training equipment scattered about, and then here is Sensei Pooh, with his sensei staff. Did I tell you that the Pirate King's name was Testiclefits? And he's a testificate, so his name is Testiclefits. That is my style of humor. If I go sort of, actually, you know what? Let me just go game mode, spectator, and then like give myself some speed effect. Give speed. Oh no, hang on. Nick Nui speed infinite. Okay. And I might show you before I go over that way. There's some stuff that way which I kind of want to show you. I want to come down here and I might have to find it in the. Cause it's sort of like under. Because this is nearby like a cave I used to mine in the survival world, right? I think. Was it over here? Maybe? It's a little hard to remember where everything was. Oh, okay. Here's the shepherd dragon. If I can get a good look at him, here's the shepherd dragon. Just kind of standing on nothing there. Yeah, he was a reoccurring character, and he'll show up in the series somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Rosebush Caverns. I called it. It was like this big cave I mined in a few times throughout my series. This is sort of a place I kind of got the lore all out of. But basically, if I come around here, there's this sort of water zone. This is a sort of mark off where it is. There's this sort of water zone, and like you swim through this to get in here, and then you like climb through here. And I think these pressure plates like triggered the game difficulty or something. And you crawled through here, and this is David Jonas's locker, I'm pretty sure. And you see, you got Spac Jera's crew here, and I think up here, yeah, David Jonas, CEO of Cursed Crew Inc. And then I went in here, and there was a boss fight against David Jonas in the original series. So, like, we killed David Jonas, and so now Spac Jera's like the captain of the ship or whatever. That's one of the least crazy things that happens in the series. That's planned to happen in the series, I should say. Because nothing's happened in this series, because it's been on hiatus for like 70,000 years, and I don't even know if I can bring it back. If I do show you guys, yeah, I think it's over here. I think this might be the last lore important thing I have to show you. There's the stronghold, but I mean that's just kind of where I fought the Ender Dragon. Yeah, so the pirates ransacked the village. It was the pirates. The pirates blew up the village with TNT. The pirates, white boy, whoa! Or whatever my joke was with that character. um, white boy, yeah, it was white boy. White boy, ah! Okay, so yeah, the pirates blew up the village, and then the pirates put like prison bars everywhere and like encased the villagers, and I had to free them, and it was so awful because who could ransack this village? Who could ransack this beautiful village? And they had like their pirate ship was sort of up here for a while, right? Their pirate ship was sort of up here, and there was like this huge boss fight which involved chickens, which are still here. There's like this floating platform I got to fight them on, and there's like this huge boss fight where I basically burned the ship, and they all died, and that's why they went to David Jonas's locker. This guy survived. This guy survived. But the rest of them went to David Jonas's locker, and that's kind of why they were there. Fun fact about this: I actually used what like pieces of the ship were still intact to determine what survived on the ground here. Um, that's kind of it's a bit of a meta thing, I guess. Which, of course, as you can see, it was mostly made out of wood. So everything that survived was the non-wood items, essentially. And then, like, a few pieces of wood survived because they were lucky. So yeah, I mean, like, that's my main world. I kind of want to go back to, yeah, you know what I want to do? I want to go back to, I want to go back to, before I X out of this, I still have stuff to show you, because I have the other worlds to show you guys. The other stuff that was sort of planned to be in this series. Which I'll like go through here, and then I'll and game mode survive. No, game mode survival, because I gotta be survival mode when like I come back, right? Oh, hang on. Effect clear. At A. Okay. Yeah, so I gotta maintain the illusion that I've been standing here for 72 years, or however long it's gonna take before I return to the series. It is sadly the case that this one's just a duplicate of the other world. There's not much different here. There might be some spoilery stuff in there, which I don't want to show. Writings Giant City. So, it's not really a city yet. I made a super flat world, but I wanted to sort of design the main house before I designed the city, and this can show you how ambitious this is, because this is like a massive freaking house made out of, like, this is a massive freaking upscaled house. This is another reason the series has not returned for so long. If I can go to, yeah, if I can go to, like, the front of the house, I guess, I can show you guys this. This is meant to be, like, a house for giants. And there would be, like, several of these scattered across, like, this massive island city. And because of that, I don't think I can return to work on the series. I don't think I can return to work on this Let's Play series, because this is like an integral part of the story. So, I mean, this would be like a living room. There's nothing in it yet. I'll like show you guys the different rooms in no particular order, because there's this would be like a bedroom for like, because basically what this is, I showed you the Pirate King's daughter, Niku. Um, this would essentially be like a. This isn't necessarily her parents' house, but this is like the house of a very fatherly figure in her life. Uh, and she also has like a very sisterly figure in her life who also lives in this house. If I remember right, this door just leads to nothing. That door leads to nothing because I just like it would have been a bathroom, but I just have no reason to build the bathroom. So and then I think this would be the room of Niku's sister. I think her name was going to be Amy, right? I know these things for certain, but I like to pretend that I don't because it's fun for me. And if I come up here, this is Amy's. Actually, no, I'm gonna let you guys guess what these toys are supposed to be, but it's a collection of a very particular brand of toys that, like, I wanted to build every single toy of the line from. Maybe not the combiner models, but the main sets. And I was going to establish that she was like a big fan of this very specific toy theme. So if I go down the ladder, I imagine I would give myself an elytra during this segment, so it's easier to get around. But like, I need to make a couch and a TV and everything. This would be a dining room, but there's nothing in there now. This area would be like a big old kitchen, essentially. And then this is like a staircase to the downstairs. This is like a staircase to the downstairs. So this is the downstairs. And I build a lot more stuff in the downstairs right now. Okay, first off, I'm going to... Okay, that's like some planning out stuff. I'm going to go in here, and this is like a bathroom. This is a bathtub, and then there's a toilet with some toilet paper on top of it. And if I come over here, there's like an entertainment center and a couch over here. There's a support beam. I might make that out of a different type of wood, so it's a bit easier to manage. I don't remember what that was supposed to be. This is going to be a couch. It's not finished yet. I'm proud of this joke. I'm very proud of that joke. There's a speaker, and this is supposed to be a computer. This is what computers look like in this age, I guess. There's a TV. Here's another very specific toy brand. Another very specific... Well, I mean, I guess it's technically from the same brand, but a very specific toy line. Oh, actually... Oh, that's actually really clever. That's actually really clever. And I impressed myself. Oh, yep, these are from a specific toy brand, but I doubt I'd be able to find heads for all of them. So, I mean, you can take a wild guess what these guys are supposed to be. This is a very specific collection of video games, which you might have been able to guess by this point. Oh, and then this. This is kind of interesting. Some of these are actually based on, like, very personal stuff. So, like, this was based on, like, a school project I did when I was a kid. And basically, it was like we were supposed to build, like, a little... we were supposed to build a little mini model of, like, a specific Native American tribe, and we were supposed to, like, try to get our details as accurate as possible. And so it was like, oh, this specific tribe built canoes and had huts that kind of looked like this. And I had, like, little action figures in front of it. And then this was based on something, like, my brother did in school, and I think this was just, like, a papier-mâché lobster, essentially. It might have been a crab. And this is an old CRT TV, so, you know, Tenna might be happy with that. There wasn't a Tenna when I like started that Minecraft playthrough. But okay, that's unfair. Jenna was introduced this year. I give myself some credit. Okay. I think most of these bins are empty except this one, which is supposed to be like little Matchbox cars. These are like Hot Wheels, I guess. Those are Hot Wheels. Here is Niku's bedroom. That's Niku with an N. It's not the Vocaloid. Yeah, so this is her bedroom. She's got a TV there and like a shelf that doesn't have anything on it yet. And then these are based on like very specific chairs that like I had as a kid. Um, it was like a kid. It was like a custom-made chair that I think like our grandparents made for us, and like one of them had my name on it, and the other had my brother's name on it. So that's what these are based on. The personalities of the characters aren't based on me or my brother in any way, really. But the house they live in certainly is. I wanted to feel nostalgic, and so I felt like if I put real nostalgia in there, it would work. These are bins of like buildable building materials, right? And then like here's a table for building, and then here's some buildable building, sorted by color basically, and then some people know what happened with that. I'll leave it at that. Oh, here's a little, here's like a spaceship being chased by the police. Here's a little house model. Here's like a little orange spaceman. And then I go in here and he's got like a TV and a couch. And he's got a dog. That's a dog. And then some furnaces and a fridge and a table. It's like a little... This is a toy ambulance called Ornara Rescue, and that is certainly how you spell the word rescue. And like you jump on top of this guy, and then come up here, and then you'd enter a weapons store ran by this fella. And is one of the weapons... I can't remember how you got the... Oh yeah, it's right here. So like, this is like one of the first things I'd go to. I'd like go to this, I'd go up here, and then I'd come up here to obtain the elytra, so I could like get around the map pretty well. There's a computer, and there's going to be a desk here, but I haven't built it yet. Is that a toy car? I think that's probably a toy car. This is like an apartment with like a husband and wife and a brother and a TV, and this would be where like their babies sleep. And then this is a police garage with a police car and a dog. Is there anyone in there? No. Yeah, that's like a police car. These are very two particular action figures with like gears on the back that can make you do like cool things with them. Oh, and then here's a Nazi plane and truck, and then like two guys fighting, and like I'm really pissed off at that one guy for punching the other guy in the face, but that's besides the point. I think that's everything in here. I dug out some spaces for some light bulbs as well. This is going to be like a little window with like a little patch of grass here. So that's a little window with like a patch of grass and a fire escape. Do 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 do. I think that's it. I think that's all I have in regards to like stuff. And like okay, like I changed the walls of this room to like a sort of wood texture, and I think I think some of these walls will need to be changed in regards to texture. Like, I think this one I want to make like a bright wood texture as well. Sort of have the startings of that, I guess. This is like one of the least finished areas, but this is also one of the earliest plot points as well. So, like, yeah, I have to get all of the worlds done before I can, like, return to the lore of my series. And like, the big thing is, like, I have other projects I'm working on. So, like, a project like this, I could go, like, years without working it, without making any progress on this world. And it's crazy. It's the type of project I feel like I need people to help with if I'm gonna be able to make it. But at the same time, like, I don't want them going out and like spreading like little snippets of lore. Like, they'll go out and like they'll spoil the lore for everyone. I don't want people to do that. I don't want people to do that. I'm scared that they're gonna do that. Okay, so there's that. And I did not build any of the city outside that house because I need to build like an entire freaking city of giants. I don't know if it will work. Oh man, and some of this stuff is like spoilers. I guess I could show you guys this. This is me trying to construct a language. And it's like the sort of simple, like A corresponds to this, and then like something else corresponds to this. But it's actually read from right to left. It's actually read from right to left. And also, this is not the final version of the language either. Like, of course, you know, I have... Maybe I won't use this symbol, because I kind of did that because it was kind of wingdings, you know, but like maybe I shouldn't use symbols like that, because like I got this, and then like this is also meant to be an approximation of one of those symbols, but I don't think I did a good job at approximating it, and you know, maybe I won't use those as letters in this fake language. But, yeah. Main world. Stealing library. And what was... Oh, this was going to be a boss fight. I guess I could spoil this for you guys because I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get up to this, but, oh, actually, this one might be a bit of a spoiler. You know what? You guys saw the title of one of my worlds. You guys saw the title of one of my worlds, so you know that this is part of the lore. So there's like this military dragon. There's like this two-headed military dragon who's like gonna be like a boss fight during like partway through the series. And like there's this library that somebody decided to steal. Not gonna say who, but yeah, there's like this whole library in here that somebody decided to steal, and it's got like dragons in it. Dragons are a big part of the story I'm trying to tell. There's this guy. Yeah, I tried to... This was like trying to approximate a dragon design that like I could work from, right? Yeah. What's... and then I think there's this, the floating island. The floating island's kind of important. I don't know how much progress I did on this, but essentially, with the floating island, what I need to do, there's like this little mountain, and this mountain leads up to this grand temple. And Oh man. The problem is that I feel like render distances are just not big enough to do some of the stuff I want to do in this series. Um, but yeah, there's like this grand temple, and there's like this veil that would like go in front of here, which would be before like this altar of rainbow fire, essentially fire of many types of colors. Um, and then behind the altar of this like rainbow fire with many types of colors is like the solid room of gold, which is also gonna be kind of separated from everything else. Um, of course, the rainbow based on a particular story, particular old story, um, about the rain and stuff. Oh, I got like massive speed on this. But this is like the only thing, and then there's gonna be like because like that's like a temple built at like giant scale, and then there's gonna be like a city based on like regular people scale, and this will all lead out here into like the edge of this plane, which is gonna have some. I might need to use World Edit to do some stuff like this, and even then, like this has got to be the speed. Actually, the speed is kind of cool. I might as well like run around this big old temple, and show you guys what it looks like around the outskirts of it. Yeah, it's definitely unfinished. 100% unfinished. Yeah. But like these are the types of things I need help with, right? To make like a big story like this, I need like help with it is essentially the thing. Is that everything I have to show you guys? Okay, some of these are my old Bionicle worlds. That's Survival World. Oh, like I guess I could show you guys this. This isn't really part of the lore, but yeah. You know what? Let me show you guys some other stuff I built in Minecraft that just kind of has This one's kind of old. This one's kind of old. This is just like a truck that says freedom on it. This is a world I have that's just a big truck that says freedom on it. Um, I don't think there's anything in the truck. I think it's just approximated truck design. Yeah. Well, there's bats in the truck, I guess. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah. That's my freedom truck. It's not really part of the lore. Um. I can show you guys this. This is another simple thing. This is a so like Dwarven Kingdoms is like my really old Minecraft adventure map. And so at one point in my life, I wanted to do the same thing I did for sort of like the Dwarven Kingdoms thumbnail, and do it for Boss Rush. I never showed this publicly. The thing is, I never got Boss Rush publicized anywhere, so I never got to use this. But yeah, these are the different rooms where you fight the bosses in like the first Boss Rush game, and I thought that was worth showing. Some of these are like old Minecraft maps. Like Dwarven Kingdoms I made when I was a teenager, and I think Boss Rush I made when I was like just getting out of school. Dog Pal. I'll show you guys Dog Pal. I'll show you guys Dog Pal, and I'll tell you guys about it. Like, here's the thing. Like, I understand that a lot of this stuff is kind of spoilery if I ever actually do end up doing these things. But it's also the type of thing where it's like, I don't think I am going to do some of these things. So, like, okay, I have to start this, like... Okay, hang on. Mead Infinite. Hang on, let me amplify it. Okay. So... Switch to spectator mode. Okay, so if I come around here, this was a Minecraft map I wanted to make. It was also like a kind of meta thing, and essentially what it is, that over there has lore relevance. This over here has lore relevance. This thing right here has lore relevance. And I'll basically tell you guys what this is, right? So if I come around here, there are barrier blocks because this is sort of like the spawn area. And basically, what this is like a Petscop parody I had plans to make at one point, and it was also way too fucking ambitious to finish. So I'll walk past here. Those are some gift boxes, Dog Pal, and basically the plot of this game is that you go around 7Care. You go around the 7Care facility, and you go around the 7Care facility, and as you go around the 7Care facility, you have to solve different puzzles to unlock dogs as your best boy. Yeah, the best boy room is locked off for now. That's a solution to one of the puzzles later on. So there's this puzzle to get a dog out, which is sort of like a puzzle with like pistons and water, and then all these dogs are immortal, so you're not gonna hurt them. So you basically have to get the dog out of here like a prize ball machine. And then there's a music puzzle here you can use to free one of the dogs. And then basically you put the two dogs you just tamed there, and then you can get into the next room. Redstone. And another thing is that some of these command blocks are dated, so I have to redo literally everything if I'm going to make this map. But you come around here. Best girl. Best girl. Okay. Yeah, I can show you guys the best girl room in a little bit. And then you go into the Cluckface room. This is the room where you have to tame Cluckface, and you do a puzzle to tame Cluckface. There's currently nothing behind Cluckface, but there is supposed to be a room back here for when like you solve the puzzle. But then instead of going into that room, which I'm going to design, what you are instead going to do is you're gonna like fall through the... Yeah, you're gonna like fall down here, and like you're gonna see those two areas, and you're gonna land there, in there. Hang on. Oh, frick, I have to go all the way back up, and... I'll do it later. I'll have to do it if I ever come back to this map anyway, so, I mean, there's that. So, like, you land in this pool, and you'll get introduced to the two warring factions of the game, which are the school, with the big muffin on top of it. There's the school with the big muffin on top of it, and then there's the house where the family lives. I'll show you these when map done. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's like planning and stuff. And up here, there will be like 16 rooms for all your different dogs, right? And then have like these big old rooms for them for when like you save them, you bring them up here and you bring them to their various dog rooms, and that activates the next part of the map. The awkward ass rails. There's awkward ass rails everywhere throughout this map. Um, and so I mean, if I go to where the school is. Oh yeah, these rails are from like a sequence where Muffin kidnaps one of the dogs and like he brings them over here, right? Brings them over here to like this slimy chunk. Okay, hang on. And I might have to change some stuff because I don't really know what the characters' personalities are going to be. So if we go all the way up here, I believe there was like a little redstone thing that I think was like surrounded by glass. Oh man, this is this is my signature long ass staircase for no reason in particular. It feels authentic, doesn't it, when you have to climb up all these frickin' stairs? It feels authentic. Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this bull. I'm not doing this bull crap. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Okay. So there's like some redstone there. And like this is basically a place you'll bring all 16 dogs to towards the end of the game to activate whatever the final boss is going to be. Do you have some plans for what the final boss is going to be like? None of this has anything to do with Minecraft Adventures, by the way. I sort of got carried around, carried away here at the end, showing you guys some Minecraft projects that will never be made because of how ambitious they are. Oh yeah, there's nothing under here. There's never been anything outside this room. Right. Yeah, okay. I think there was a boss fight I actually fully coded as well. Okay. Girl. So there's girl, of course. Bull. Yeah, this was the bull boss fight. Yeah, you had to fight bull here, and I think like the thing was like this would leave the dog behind. We wouldn't want him getting hurt, would we? And so like this lets you know that like you're supposed to start the boss fight now. And this is the boss fight. So like this is Muffin. This is Muffin right here. And then inside here this is Bull. Okay? So Muffin shows up, he gives like a little speech and then he goes away, and then Bull shows up. And then basically you have to have like this huge boss fight where you need to spell nifty. You need to press a nifty during the boss fight in order to win. And that's the Bull boss fight. And you can come around here, and then you get to tame another dog. There's another dog in here trapped inside an Among Us, and you gotta get him out and you gotta tame him. What was his name? I think all the dogs had names as well. Jimmy. Yeah, this one's named Jimmy. I think I have all of their names somewhere. I think I have all of their names somewhere, because I think there was a Jimmy and then there was a Timmy. And then, like, this wall will open up when you're done. This sort of, like, bookcase. Like, the bookcases are sort of like secret passageways. So you open up the bookcase and then you go through here. And then you put down the, like, the 2 dogs you tamed during the segment there. And then you come around here and there's, like, this big staircase that leads back up to the noob maker plane. Yeah. And I think, if I remember right, the story behind this, right, is that you downloaded a Minecraft adventure map that other people were playing. That's like the lore of the game, is that you downloaded a Minecraft adventure map that other people were playing. It was like a whole group of characters that were sort of like a mix of the Petscop cast and the Yogs cast, right? There's sort of like a mix of both of them. And essentially what happened is that they wanted to cheat at the game they were playing. They wanted to cheat at the Minecraft map they were playing. But they each had different ideas of how to go about cheating. So, like, they disagreed with each other on the exact way in which they were cheating at the map that they were trying to cheat at. And they had to go through like these complicated ways to cheat. They had to like circumvent various codes in the game which prevented cheating. Um, and that's essentially what that big piston thing you saw at the beginning was. Like, they weren't allowed to break blocks, they were only allowed to place blocks. Until Muffin came around and he was like, hey, I'm gonna destroy blocks, but then they're like, no, you can't destroy blocks, you need to solve a puzzle in order to cheat. It was something along those lines. I don't think that was the exact phrasing of it. But that was essentially the plot. And so, like, whenever you see brick, that's like what Muffin built. And whenever you see like house stuff, that's something that like the main cast have built. And so Muffin like brings up these big towers to sort of like find these different areas throughout the Even Care facility, so like he could skip 90% of the puzzles in the game, and then he would just like break the dogs out and tame them. But the other guys, like, they wanted to tame the dogs sort of legit. They were going to cheat a little bit, but they weren't going to go all in ham with it. And so basically the plot is you're on the side of the lesser cheaters trying to defeat the greater cheater. And it's all about taming dogs. It's like this whole Minecraft map about taming dogs. And like the map maker is also a character in this who just speaks through signs. Essentially, like there are signs throughout the thing with like the map maker's words on it. That were like here before the whatever they're gonna be called. It's gotta be some weird mix of Yogscast and Petscop. The Yogscop. The Yogscop. The Petscast or the Yogscop? Because the thing is, the Yogscop, that makes it kind of obvious what I'm referencing. Okay, oh man, I gotta fly up this big old tower. And like these towers are part of the map, and they're like these towers that were put in by to get that, because like under here, this is like out of bounds, right? Everything down there is out of bounds from the actual map that was built. And it's sort of like the base of operations of the various cheaters. And then you come up here, and there's like a dog in here that you can tame. Karskowitz. This is Karskowitz's room. And there's like these massive, massive statues of these dogs that like you can tame. There's like these massive statues of dogs. And like the thing here, right? The key to this, you see that there's like a lever on each of the dogs' necks. So like part of the story is that like the way you tame Karskowitz is you pull that lever, and then this is supposed to open. That's like part of the story, but like it was already done by the Pets cast. So you can come in here and then like you can tame the dog. Come in here and tame the dog, and then like you can come around here and then you can pull this lever to get back into. This is where we were before. This is the best girl room. Cluckface. Yeah, so this is The thing is, there's a lot of potential with this parody, but it's like, it's too ambitious for a parody, is the thing. It's too ambitious for a parody. And that is just... I'm not going to spoil the ending. If I go into the best boy room, I'm going to spoil the ending. I don't want to spoil it too much. There is a plot twist at the end of this that will fuck you up. And no, it's not just, oh, they blew some TNT into the side of the facility. That's like an established fact throughout most of the game. There is a plot twist at the end of this game where if you play it, it will fuck you up. It just will. No questions asked. It just will. It's going to. It has to. It has to fuck you up. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's Dog Pal. That's another reason I haven't been getting anything done. Uh, I could show you guys the. I mean, since I'm done with the Minecraft writings, okay, I'll show you this really quick. I've made no progress on this, but I did at one point want to make the, because like the Giantess Queen. When we eventually get around to the Giantess City, like her throne room sort of area will be so big that it needs to be its own Minecraft map. I've not made any progress on it except for like blowing out a huge chunk of a world with TNT. I've not laid down the foundations of like any buildings or anything. It might even just need to be like a big cavernous area at the end. It doesn't necessarily need to have like support beams and pillars and stuff. But yeah, thinking about that, this is the kind of stuff I need help with if I'm ever going to make, right? It's all just a bit too, big. Stealing the library. Okay, yeah, this is kind of... And then I wanted to show you guys this. So, this is a rather interesting Minecraft map. I kind of wanted to parody the Pilgrim's Progress, like the old storybook that Scott Cawthon did like a interpretation of. And so like here, right, I have like the layout of where the city's gonna be, right? Like the city at the beginning, which is due for destruction, and Christian has to get out of like the big city. And over here was gonna be like over here was gonna be like a boss fight against Obstinance, and he had like this big tank. This is a parody, by the way. This isn't like a straight on retelling. This is like a parody with several silly elements in it. But like Obstinance has like his big tank, and he was gonna fight you with like his big army of tanks, and so this would be like one of the first boss fights of the game. There might be a boss fight in the city as like you're escaping or something. Because there are going to be some things that I think I flesh out a little more than like the book did. So anyways, you get out of that, and then like Pliable joins you on your adventure. And so there's like a cutscene where it's like you're in the tank and you're driving off to wherever. There's a jukebox in here. Yeah, this is like the tank, and you go along. There's going to be a lot of teleportation in this map, is sort of how I'll get it done. And then as soon as you get to the bog, like the tank falls into the thing, and then at this point, Pliable's like, no, I'm going back. I'm going home. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going home. As soon as like the tank falls in the bog, and so then you start like the chapter that takes place in the bog, and like you go up here. I need to make some like clever tricks to make sure that the player doesn't go too far off the beaten path. And then you come around here, and there's like this. This is like the first area of the bog, and hey, by the way, there's collectibles. There's collectibles in this game. There's gonna be collectibles. At least I'm planning on there being. There might not be in the final version. Then you come around here, and this is like this big area of the bog. I'll probably put like barrier blocks over the water so you can't swim in it, like I did with my Bionicle map. This is a big statue of a lady. This is like a little witch hut, and there will basically be like a witch character that's like causing havoc for you during like this segment of the map. Like it's mostly traversing the swamp as like the witch has like her little goofy moments, and then like all of this is plans. This is some of this is like stuff I might not make final, by the way. But then like you traverse the bog, and I think you come to here, right? I have to like dig out paths and like build paths and such throughout this map. But, like, you come around here, and like, this is blocked off by barriers because this whole cavern segment is supposed to be a boss fight room. Not entirely certain what the boss fight's going to look like. I just know it's going to be a boss fight room. And I think at this point, like, an angel shows up and gives you the tank back so that you can proceed normally. There's going to be an angel figure that, like, sort of appears and reappears and stuff. And so you get the tank back, and you have, like, this whole cutscene on the tank. And another thing is that, like, you're not alone during this adventure. Like, there are some... I don't know if this is, like, the final appearance that they're going to take on, but there is going to be, like, some support characters as well throughout this adventure. It's a parody, so I can make some changes like that. Steward Elves album. So you come in here, owner's manual. This is I'll go ahead and read this because it's one of the funnier jokes I've written so far. The Worldly Brand Persuasion model is a multifunctional utility vehicle designed for transport, warfare, farming, and of course, comfort. The ultra quadruple double stuffed cotton seats provide a relaxing experience for not one, but two of the rider's butt cheeks. The fillable indoor pool comes with a drink holder, that is, if you care to drink the pool water. It also serves as a microwave if you decide to fill it with fire instead. The unopenable mini fridge allows you to conveniently store food, drink, or corpse, and the decorative amethyst floor is made from rare, genuine imitation amethyst. Imitation amethyst may include salt. The tank's light bulb feature requires a modest, I can't fucking read that number, gigawatts of energy, and a jukebox that can exclusively play Steward Elves albums. Jukebox may explode if used without a Steward Elves album. And then there's the combat features. Big gun go boom. If you are dissatisfied with your purchase, please contact our complaints department at 1-800-DON'T-ANSWER. That's 1-800-DON'T-ANSWER. Enjoy your new tank, and remember, fear of man is the beginning of wisdom. Worldly Wiseman, CEO of Worldly Inc. So that's the type of humor I'd have throughout this series, right? That's the type of humor I'd have. Sort of the jabs at the lack of subtlety, but like playful ones that sort of lean into it and embrace it. I might as well just... I don't have anything super important in this inventory, so I'll just go ahead and delete it. Just say give barrier. This will be a city. If I remember, this was not part of the book. This is just like a city that I was gonna have where like they rescue someone from slavery, and then like they rescue someone from the slave trade, and then there's like a whole action sequence where like you're jumping on the back of these, and I'll have to like figure out how to program command blocks to kill you if you're like down there, right? Which I'm sure there's a way to do it. So like there's this whole parkour sequence, like you're dodging skeletons and trying to get ahead of this caravan, this massive caravan of traders, and like you step on these pressure plates to set your spawn at these various points. And then, like, there's this magic obsidian over here. There's, like, this magic obsidian. I think there was, like, a lore important thing to where it was, like... I might even change the color of this because this might look weird. But, like, there's this magic obsidian block, over here where it's, like, one of the bad guys would be trying to use, like, sorcery or something to defeat you. Yeah, but I think this is like the Arku language, and I think it says like a name of a particular demon in the lore. And so there's that, and then there's this area. I think I think after you're done with the boss fight, there's like this cutscene that plays where it's like the main bad guy is like chasing you in that, and, like you're on the back of this, and then like. I think it's like Crusader here. I think this guy's name is going to be Crusader or something. I do want this guy to be a knight, though. Like, calls upon, like, a a massive landslide to block their enemies, and it blocks their enemies. And then there's like a little goodbye segment where I think there's like one of the good residents of that city who like helped you to escape or something, and so he's like, if I remember right, hang on, yeah, I think if I remember right, uh, you come up on here and there's like an encounter with like Worldly Wiseman, who I think is going to be like a reoccurring like comic relief character throughout the thing, and he tells you, "Hey, don't go this way, go this way instead." And if you go this way, you get to like my favorite segment of the game, which is not at all finished yet. Um, and this segment was going to be the Mountain of Morality. And it was basically going to be a parkour spire, was the thing. It was going to be like this massive parkour spire where if you mess up, you have to repeat a level of it. And it was going to be like this infuriating thing. And I might even make this like an optional side quest where it's like if you get to the top, you'd get like this. Like you can attempt this if you want, but it's gonna be like super hard, and maybe you shouldn't. But this is like an optional side quest that you can just waste hours upon your life on if you want to attempt the Mountain of Morality side quest. Um, how are these jokes? What are these jokes doing for you? How are these how are these jokes doing for you? Um, so then there's this. Hang on. Yeah, there's um if you go along the main path, you come to like this huge lava field that you got to get through, and this is like a big parkour segment. And I think what's gonna happen is like over one of these ridges is like the tower of, I can't remember what the name of the tower was. I can't remember if it was Beelzebub or if it was one of the other demons. But there was like a tower in the book. There was like a tower named after one of the demons, and it like shot lightning at people. So I think this is gonna be like a very precarious segment of the map where you have to like cross over this lava lake while being shot at by lightning bolts essentially. And then you come to the end here, you get to like the safe zone, right? You get to like this safe zone, and it's like this flying house. I made this balloon out of Skulk. I'm not sure if that's safe, but I made the balloon out of Skulk. There would have to be more balloons over this, but this is like a flying house, right? Inside like this safe little, a flying house inside of like this safe little golden gate area, and you go inside here, and it's just full of dogs. It's just full of dogs, right? There's a bathroom in there. There's 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 their food, of course, and there's like little things of water for them to drink out of. There's a TV in here, and there's a throne room with the queen of the dogs upon it. Um, all right. And then I don't really know where my paths are gonna be to like move from place to place, but like, um, there are a few other things throughout this, which I have plans for. So, I come over here, and this, I actually really liked how the terrain generated here because it made this island that sort of looked like a skull, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the place where Christian has like the vision, right? Um, because like it's a hill that looks like a skull, right? You know, and if you know, you know. Um, and so it's sort of like this area is given like these lush gardens. I think this is a bit of a lore that might change, but like most of the map takes place in this sort of deserty area, right? It's like the desert, and then there's like the red desert, and then there's the mesa, and essentially like my plan for this, and this might change because I think it did change um, with the adjacent story I was trying to tell alongside this, is that I think like part of the lore was that this entire desert was like struck by the spear of like a demon, essentially um like there were like angels and demons fighting in the cosmos, and like one of the devil's spears like jammed into the earth and turned it into like this massive desert. um uh and then I have this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It's just a big dome for now. I want to do something with this. I want to do something with this. I'm not entirely sure what though, because I do add some of my own stuff throughout this map. Like this map was planned on being really long, and like I was gonna add some of my own stuff throughout it. You know. Um, and I think the only other thing I have built is like the base of where the um I think I have the base of where, yeah, this is essentially the base of where that massive tower would be, like the demon tower. Um yeah, this would be like the base of where that tower would be built. It's gonna be like this massive sort of tree-like tower. Um, so yeah, I think there's gonna have to be like a massive boss fight underground, like there's the massive fight against Abaddon, and I think in this one I'm gonna call him Abaddon, like that's what I'm gonna call him. It's like leaning into like sort of the goofiness of how unsubtle this story is, but also embracing it to an extent. Um, so yeah, I mean like, and I might not call it the Pilgrim's Progress, like when I eventually release this map. That's like the skeleton of what this story is based on, and it's making some direct references and such. But like because this is my own thing, that's a lot sillier and has like a lot of my own stuff in it. I kind of would like to turn it into a I might as well see the back wall of this. This is gonna be like a walled off village, I guess. Um, and of course, the Arku language, which I run throughout a lot of these things that take place in the same universe. Like, I might end up changing the Arku language a little bit because some of it is like, I don't know, some of it was like rough, and some of it is sort of like randomly based on real life letters, and then like some of it is based on wingdings, and then some of it is based on like freaking, I don't know, like Minecraft items like swords and they made copper weapons. Yeah, that's right. They did make copper weapons. Ground Egg. Yeah, a lot of new stuff in Minecraft that I don't really know about. But this is another project that I've sort of like abandoned. And I felt like showing you guys all these projects that I have essentially abandoned and still have like slight hopes that I can come back to in the future. Um like I have slight hopes that I can come back to some of this stuff in the future and like make proper versions of all of this stuff. And like I do have some hopes for that. But the thing is, it's just I don't know if I can, essentially. I don't know if I can, because some of this stuff seems a little too ambitious. It seems like maybe the type of stuff that might not even be possible to do in Minecraft. Like I think a lot of it is stuff that maybe requires like a huge render distance at the very least in order to like work on. But I don't know, it's just kind of I think there's a bridge up here for aesthetics basically. Oh yeah, there's like a little floating island with like a jet on it and like a bridge leads over to it. I think I only really did that for aesthetics. Um, yeah, a lot of this is stuff that I would like to work on someday, but like I have all these ideas for stories I want to tell, and like I only have such amount of time to work on all of them basically. And so my attention is divided between story and story, and I might as well show you guys what the interiors of these towers look like. I sort of copy pasted it, and I feel like I like that I copy pasted these because it sort of gives them all this like liminal view, right? Um, but yeah, here's an elevator, I guess, and like all of the houses. This is a bathroom, and then like here's a bedroom, here's a bedroom, and like it's sort of it's meant to be this very liminal city where everything looks the same essentially. I think only some of these like these interiors like I think you'll only be in like some of these interiors and such. Like I think I may have decorated the ones that I think I want the player to be in. I'll scratch that. I don't even think I built the. There will be a section in this where I think the player goes into like the sewers, and like comes out here, like as they're escaping the city. There will be some. There will be some time spent on the player trying to like escape the city. And there is one thing that is different from like the actual Pilgrim's Progress in that like Obstinance is like a freaking military commander in my version who is like so obstinate that people do not leave the city that he'll essentially go to war against them. It's comedically exaggerated, is what it is. It's like comedic exaggeration for a lot of it. And then how am I going to do Vanity Fair? Like, that's a big thing. I need to figure out how I'm going to do Vanity Fair in this thing. Apple original edit. Um, I think that's all the things I wanted to show you. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to update the version of Minecraft in order to show you guys these, but you know what? I think it's worth it because like I barely did any of the command blocks in these worlds anyway. I'm not gonna log into the Chronicler because that map's pretty much done except for the villagers and stuff I need to put in. Like I think I have shown YouTube representations of how that map is basically done. But you know what? No, I don't want to show you guys those because they're basically just like Bionicle worlds that are essentially they work based on the same map as the Chroniclers of the Chronicle, but they're like based on different segments of that map. And the other world on that list is just my survival world, so I'm not gonna show it off. Um, so yeah, I mean, like that's some of the stuff I've been on and off again working on in Minecraft. Most of which I don't think I'm ever going to release. I don't think I'm ever going to release that stuff because it would take so long to work on all that stuff. It would take like years or eons or whatever. And like I'd be working on it basically by myself and I don't think I have a lot of time to work on Minecraft maps that big. Um, and I hope this could at least be an explanation for why I never returned to that old Minecraft Let's Play series. I never returned to it. It was too hard. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, if it's unrealistic to make stuff on the scale of the things you just saw, I can totally get that. I can totally get that if that scale is just unrealistic to make anything in. But at the same time, it feels like these are stories that I want to tell on those scales. These are stories that I don't want to make these simple, basic baby things. I want them to be like these grand, epic things, these grand stories, and I don't want to compromise on the scale of any of them, even if it will not work with what Minecraft is. I don't know. It's just strange to me. Well, I hope you found that interesting at least.